the f?
Come on in. Oh! Woo!
Truck camping has become an increasingly popular way to explore the great outdoors, offering adventurers the perfect blend of mobility and comfort. But what happens when these idyllic outdoor experiences take an unexpected and unsettling turn? From truck camping in a haunted graveyard to the presence of unforeseen visitors, these are the 30 most disturbing truck camping moments caught on camera. A YouTuber parked his van near a cemetery as darkness fell, ready to explore the allegedly haunted woods. Armed with a camera, he ventured through ancient gravestones into the whispering forest.
Whittard's White Hot Chocolate, the luxury version.
Suddenly, movement caught his eye. His heart raced as he tried to capture it on film, but the darkness obscured his vision.
What the f? I can't see anything. Oh, what was that?
Throughout the night, strange noises and lights kept him on edge. Was it just nocturnal wildlife or something supernatural? The legend of a vicar who died in these woods haunted his thoughts. At dawn, he emerged from his van, shaken. The once menacing woods now looked ordinary in the daylight, but the memory of the ghostly figure lingered. An unsettling scene unfolded in the dead of night, around 12:30 a.m.
And they've got a bag on the ground, like a big duffel or backpack or something. And I don't know if they're...
The situation grew more tense as two figures dressed in all black, with hoods obscuring their faces, appeared. They positioned themselves beneath a security camera, likely trying to avoid detection.
Bro, what the f... There's one going over there.
Suddenly, the mysterious pair vanished from sight, seemingly disappearing around the back corner of the building. The camper's anxiety mounted as he tried to make sense of the bizarre occurrence. 10 minutes later, the two figures reappeared. One moved in one direction, while the other remained in place.
I don't like this at all. This doesn't seem good at all. Especially because they were dropped off here and the car left. I think I've spent...
The camper, attempting to sleep but now fully alert, couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The fact that these individuals had been dropped off and the car had left only added to the suspicion. Whatever the case, sleep seemed impossible as the mysterious events continued to unfold in the darkness. In the quiet hours of the night, a routine stop near a 24-hour McDonald's turned into a chilling encounter for one stealth camper. The evening began uneventfully as he settled into his usual spot, preparing for a night's rest in his vehicle. Suddenly, the peace was shattered by the sound of someone trying to force entry.
What's going on? What are you doing? Hey, bro.
A stranger appeared, silent and motionless, ignoring all attempts at communication. The camper's heart raced as he realized the vulnerability of his situation.
Oh, man. Ain't fucking weird, bro.
Shaken and glasses-less, the camper hastily fled the scene, seeking safety in the darkness.
I just heard like a hello. I was sleeping, and then this dude grabbed my door handle, man. I don't know where he went. And you guys saw him. He was like a freaking zombie, dude.
As he drove, he caught a glimpse of a figure in the distance, uncertain if it was his silent assailant or an innocent bystander. As the wind picked up and the temperature dropped, these campers decided to head back down. Once at the bottom, they parked in a small area by the footpath leading to the reservoir and began preparing the van for the night. Suddenly, they heard something outside that wasn't just their dog or its usual noises.
And my wife are in this van. Can you step back from my door, please?
Right,
now! No, step back out of my personal space.
Yes.
When they opened the door, they found a woman confronting their dog, holding a German Shepherd by the neck and trying to intimidate him.
And we started to prep the van for the night. Outside, we started to hear something that wasn't just Maximus or his tablets. So I opened the door to find a woman.
They thought the incident was over, but it wasn't. Later, another confrontation occurred.
Maximus, holding a German Shepherd by the neck, pulling him back, trying to intimidate Maximus. I stepped out and put myself between Maximus and the lady. Then she...
A man approached their van aggressively, refusing to step back when asked. What started as a simple night's rest became a series of tense and potentially dangerous situations. As the clock struck midnight, a lone camper steered his trusty 2003 Tacoma off the freeway and into what seemed like a quiet parking lot. Little did he know, this peaceful refuge would soon become the stage for an unsettling encounter.
So what you'll see here in a second, he pulls out his phone and starts taking pictures. It looks like on my license plate or something like that. I'm not sure why he was doing this, so I thought maybe, I wasn't allowed to.
The camper shell of his truck, usually a cocoon of safety, suddenly felt exposed as the hands of time crept towards 1:30 a.m.
My license plate, but it's kind of odd to be doing that at 1:30 in the morning. And he didn't look like a security guard or anything like that.
Through the tinted windows, he watched in tense silence as a shadowy figure pulled out a phone, its screen illuminating his face as he appeared to photograph the license plate.
And he takes off running, so he probably wasn't expecting that.
The tension peaked as the stranger, emboldened by the truck's apparent emptiness, shone his flashlight into the back of the camper shell. In that heart-stopping moment, the camper made a split-second decision. His sudden movement and the loud bang on the window shattered the night's silence. The man, caught off guard, fled into the darkness. This camper settled into his vehicle for the night in Shrewsbury, expecting to wake up peacefully in the morning. However, the calm was suddenly shattered when someone attempted to open the door of his vehicle. Startled and alarmed, he remained silent, hoping the intruder would leave. After a tense moment, the mysterious person departed, leaving the camper shaken but unharmed. Realizing the potential danger of the situation, he decided it was best to leave the area immediately.
Hey!
A female camper found herself in a parking lot that was supposedly safe for overnight stays, but uncertainty lingered. Exhaustion forced her to stop, but a suspicious truck pulled in as soon as she parked.
Me, and it followed me all the way on. Oh, jeez, Louise. I was scared.
The situation intensified as the truck circled the area multiple times, each pass increasing the camper's anxiety.
And why would it come down here, like, unless it's going to McDonald's? No, it's not.
Frustrated and scared, she eventually left to find another sleeping spot.
I'm gonna wait it out because I don't like this. I noticed a truck was still following me.
The camper settled in for the night, expecting an uneventful sleep. However, a peculiar occurrence disrupted the peace around 3 a.m. The singing man continued his bizarre behavior throughout the night, occasionally shouting profanities. His presence seemed to deter others, including a truck driver who decided against entering a nearby business after hearing the commotion. As morning arrived, the camper enjoyed a hot coffee in the humid air, grateful for the cross breeze provided by open windows during the night. This vehicle kept stopping and going slowly, raising suspicions about their intentions. Concerned about the potential theft of valuable equipment like the power station, the camper decided to keep a low profile, turn off lights, and consider relocating for the night.
Car coming here, creeping. Guys, there's kind of like a sketchy truck. There's at least 2 guys in there, if you can see their brake lights here.
As darkness fell, another car appeared, also behaving suspiciously.
I don't don't know if they're just trying to check me out and see what I got going on. Obviously, I carried that like nice power station and stuff back in here, so I didn't show myself like packing back up, but...
The camper finished packing up, debating whether to put up window shades while maintaining visibility in case a quick departure was necessary.
Being kind of sketchy. Not as sketchy as the other car, but just finishing packing up. I'm not sure if I want to put the window shades up or not yet, just in case I got to roll. I don't want to...
Eventually, both suspicious vehicles left, allowing the camper to set up the window shades and settle in for the night. A man stopped by a camper's van and explained that he made rounds to check on people and offer water to those camping in the area.
And so I kind of drive through when I'm here, just checking on people, making sure they got water, got what they need.
He mentioned living nearby and seemed friendly, offering to use his shower if needed. Shortly after this encounter, another person approached the camper with a disturbing revelation.
Driving a older Dodge pickup. And he told me he comes out here and offers water.
Surprisingly, both men seemed to be the same person. In the end, the camper drove as far away from the desert BLM land as possible. A female solo camper returned to her campsite to find she had been robbed.
Because since I don't have a tent, I felt like I wasn't leaving enough, and I wanted like my site to be reserved.
Despite being in a loop where other campers routinely left their setups unattended while exploring the park, her kitchen system, stored in a drawer under her vehicle, had been stolen.
But I don't have that much stuff, so I just left my entire drawer system and it's gone. That sucks, like my entire kitchen system.
She had left these items out, along with a water jug, table and chair, to reserve her spot like others did with tents.
Crazy to me, like I can't believe there's people out there that just do that just like rob people. For what? I hope you're enjoying my oatmeal. Honestly.
The camper expressed disbelief and frustration at the situation, feeling violated and struggling to comprehend why someone would steal from a campsite. A camper recounted a disturbing encounter with a persistent stranger. Initially, the man approached her vehicle, attempting to communicate despite language barriers.
He just moved even closer.
Feeling uncomfortable, she shut her door on him, hoping he would leave. However, the man remained, spending considerable time trying to get her attention.
It's been like a half an hour and he just keeps on moving his vehicle so he can see in my van here.
For about an hour, the stranger repeatedly moved his car around her van, parking it in different positions to maintain visual contact.
Like a family pulled in a big RV and they kind of were just kind of behind me, not right behind me, but close enough that they would hear me scream, and so I felt...
This behavior deeply unsettled the camper, who had closed her curtains for privacy. As darkness fell, her anxiety increased, and she was unsure of how to handle the situation. A moment of relief came when a family in an RV parked nearby, providing some comfort to the camper. As the weather turned chilly and rainy, Noah retreated inside the camper. As night fell, he drifted off to sleep, but was awakened by what sounded like screaming.
But I've just woken up to what sounded like someone screaming. Can't figure out.
He speculated it might be some type of bird. Throughout the narrative, Noah's dog, Blue, occasionally tried to get comfortable and made noises. A female camper described a field of artichokes in bloom, surprised and delighted by their bright purple flowers. After visiting a nearby farmer's market and buying some tomatoes, she was interrupted by a man yelling and waving to get her attention.
But seriously, where is the creep magnet in this van? Because I need to have it removed. There is a guy literally yelling at me and waving.
Frustrated, she questioned why some men think such actions are appropriate. Ignoring the man, she continued photographing the flowers, annoyed that she might have to leave due to harassment.
Yourself. He's like waving for me to go over there. I'm taking pictures of flowers, you dumb f***. Does that ever work for that guy? Like, does he wave a girl down?
She mentioned similar encounters with creepy people recently and reflected on whether discussing these experiences might attract more unwanted attention. After a while, the man drove off. A camper described his evening routine in the van, which included disposing of grey water and setting up the bed. Around 9 p.m, he decided to prepare for sleep and watch a movie.
Go. So they're going to be left just over here. Make sure I've got some sweets for watching a movie. And then just...
However, his peaceful night was suddenly disrupted by a frightening incident.
I just heard something outside.
He heard noises outside and realized someone was trying to enter the van, not just knocking, but attempting to open the handle. This caused his heart to pound with fear.
Okay, I think they've gone. They literally tried to get in the van.
After the intruder seemed to leave, the camper cautiously checked outside. He speculated that the person might have been trying to move him on or break in. A camper heard faint singing in the distance, which he initially found unsettling. However, he soon realized it was just other campers, reminding him he wasn't alone on the public land. As night fell, the camper returned to his van to prepare for bed. While making tea, he heard a sudden thud outside the van, causing a moment of panic.
It sounded like something hit my van. I'm like shaking right now.
After a careful investigation, he discovered it was just his shovel falling over, much to his relief.
Falling. We're all good.
Okay, Millie, scooch over.
As nightfall blanketed the surroundings in a dense forest, a lone male YouTuber settled into his camper, expecting a peaceful night of solo camping. Unbeknownst to him, the night would soon unravel into a series of chilling events that would test his nerves. It started with a single knock on the camper door, echoing through the small space and sending shivers down his spine.
I hear somebody walking outside. And they knocked.
The knock was followed by an eerie scraping sound, as if someone, or something, was dragging their knuckles down the door. The intent felt disturbingly sinister. Desperate to escape, he packed up at first light, but as he drove away, he caught a glimpse of a makeshift camp in the distance, with a truck parked beside it. Inside the truck, a solitary figure sat, watching. A male camper settled in for the night, hoping for a peaceful rest. However, his sleep was abruptly interrupted by the sound of cars arriving nearby.
Somebody has parked the car.
The situation quickly became unsettling as two vehicles pulled up, lights off and music blaring.
There's guys playing music to my left. There's actually two cars. Another one pulled up as well, and I did not feel good about this at all. So I am getting the hell out of here.
Feeling unsafe, he decided to leave immediately. He described the dangerous conditions, emphasizing the pitch-black darkness and their remote location. While he speculated that it might just be teenagers looking for a place to smoke or drink, he worried about the risks of being alone in such a secluded area. As dusk settled over the Great Dividing Range in New South Wales, Australia, a solitary van stood in stark contrast to the vast wilderness surrounding it.
Oh, get it? I just went to the bushes. I got it there. Yeah, use the nature as my toilet.
Inside, a novice van lifer, just 7 months into her journey, grappled with the growing unease of her chosen campsite. Suddenly, a car emerged. 4 men, clearly not campers, exited the vehicle. When the men finally departed, the relief was palpable but short-lived. The encounter had solidified her decision. Despite the allure of this free camp, the risks outweigh the rewards. With a mix of disappointment and resolve, she extinguished the fire and prepared to drive to a safer location. This camper settled into his van for the night, parked in a scenic location near the harbour in Brixton.
We just tried to break in. Well, that's a first for me. I'm actually quite scared.
The night passed relatively peacefully, with the camper waking around 6 a.m. due to a garbage truck and nearby workers. After getting up, he planned to explore the harbour area. However, his morning took a frightening turn.
Look, it's not exactly like it's the middle of the night or something. It's fairly, bright. So I don't know what...
Still in bed, the camper heard someone trying the door handle twice before walking away.
Their car park's not all that big though. Don't know.
Shocked and scared, he quickly packed up and prepared to leave, noting the unusual nature of the attempted break-in, which occurred in broad daylight. A camper pulled over to sleep in what he thought was a secluded forest area, believing no one was around. However, this assumption proved wrong.
Right now, I don't even know what time it is, and there's someone walking around my truck right now.
Someone attempted to creep around his truck while he was sleeping.
He's been walking around for like 20 minutes already. My gun's in my cab though.
The next day, after returning home, he noticed several disturbing signs on his truck that he hadn't seen immediately after the incident.
That's new. Don't know how that got there. More handprints trying to get in my truck. At least the back canopy was locked, but...
There were numerous marks, handprints and scratches along the side of the vehicle. Matt Tober spent a night in the woods, staying warm inside his van despite freezing temperatures outside. He planned to have coffee, snacks, and relax, with the possibility of exploring to spot wildlife. He had heard coyotes and knew deer were in the state forest. As Matt prepared to explore outside, a loud scampering sound startled him.
Area before I... Bro... On second thought heading out there, I literally just heard like...
Feeling uneasy, he cautiously looked around before venturing out, describing the eerie feeling of being alone in the dark woods.
Sketchy. Sorry for my camera.
He walked around briefly, noting the surroundings. Despite the unsettling atmosphere, he didn't see any animal eyes reflecting in his light. Two campers spotted a suspicious man in a red Chevy Tahoe waiting in the area, which prompted them to pack up and leave quickly.
No, there he is. That's the guy. I don't know if anybody could see that. I don't know where to go. Yeah, he's chilling right there.
They found themselves in Carson City, Nevada, on Labor Day weekend, searching for accommodation. After calling numerous hotels without success, they stopped at a gas station in Lake Tahoe.
We just packed up and...
Yeah, we are out of here.
So what is in a red truck?
It's a red,
One of the campers attempted to secure a room at a nearby Holiday Inn, while the other camper waited anxiously. Unfortunately, they had no luck finding a hotel room in the area. It was around 2 a.m. when this camper was startled by someone outside his van.
About 2 a.m. and there's somebody outside. They pulled up and then they went round to the back of my van. They walked around to
The intruder had pulled up and walked around to the back of the van, getting uncomfortably close to the back doors. The camper speculated that the person might have been trying to peek inside, possibly mistaking the fake windows for blacked out ones.
Come towards me. What is going on? Is this it? Is this the end?
The situation became even more unsettling when the intruder opened his car door. Eventually, the intruder seemed to drive off, but his presence could still be felt nearby in the car park. However, the camper's relief was short-lived.
I can see them circling in that car park behind me still. They seem to be leaving, I think.
He noticed the vehicle circling back around towards him. Finally, after what must have felt like an eternity, the vehicle appeared to be leaving. As the night was winding down, the camper was preparing to clean up and get some sleep. However, An unexpected disturbance outside interrupted his plans.
Was that a car up there? No. Unless anything else more incredibly exciting happens, I guess I will see you.
Someone approached his van, startling him.
You alright, mate?
Yeah. And there's a car. Did you have it as well?
Yeah.
Like a...
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at...
Both campers observed a vehicle with its lights on at the top of a nearby hill, which caused some concern. Given the late hour and the remote location, the situation was particularly worrying. They decided to use a drone to get a better view of the situation.
Apologies if you guys can't really see much because of how dark it is, but there's definitely something or someone at the back.
The drone's footage revealed what appeared to be a fire at the top of the hill, adding to the mystery of the nighttime disturbance. As they settled in for the night again, they made a plan to alert each other if anything else happened, agreeing to sound the horn if necessary. Johnny's buddy Cole texted him at the last minute, around 8 p.m, asking if he wanted to go steelhead fishing in the morning. Excited by the opportunity, Johnny agreed and set out on an hour-long drive north. As he was trying to be quiet due to nearby cars and sleeping people, some individuals approached his vehicle.
Guys just pulled up and now they're heading off. They tried pulling on my door on my truck, which was really weird. But
They tried to open his door, which was alarming. Thankfully, they left without incident.
Well, some guys just pulled up and now they're heading off.
Early the next morning, around 6 a.m, Johnny woke up to windows covered in ice due to the cold temperature, which was likely between 20 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. After getting warm and gathering his fishing gear, Johnny headed down to the river. As the sun set, the camper found himself alone in the darkening forest, gathering firewood for his campsite.
Do this all weird and stuff. God dang it. I was gone for too long and the fire went out.
While searching for wood, he stumbled upon a peculiar sight. A recliner chair was randomly placed in the woods, adding to the unsettling ambience. During his cooking process, he experienced more unsettling moments.
There, I'm making dinner if you want any. Just come on in. Oh! Whoa! Oh. I don't know what just...
He heard noises outside, and his camera inexplicably fell. Despite these disturbances, he continued preparing meals, trying to maintain a sense of normalcy. A camper received an unexpected phone call from his brother, informing him of vandalism to his motorhome.
Looks like I have now been the recipient of quarantine boredom vandalism. Looks like 2 pellets.
Upon inspection, he discovered 2 pellet holes in the vehicle's back window. This incident was particularly frustrating given the current quarantine conditions, which had already limited his activities and posts.
Rules. I've tried to be self-isolating, and we can see there the whole glass is now going to have to be replaced.
The damage to the window presented a significant problem, as the entire glass pane would need replacement. This additional work was unwelcome, especially considering existing issues with the roof. Given the height of the motorhome, the owner's immediate concern was to secure the window to prevent it from falling out and potentially injuring passers-by. He resorted to a temporary fix using duct tape with limited resources due to quarantine restrictions and closed businesses. The truck camper settled in for the night, enjoying a dinner of spicy chicken tenders while watching TV in his semi-truck. Outside, a storm raged in the Bay Area, creating a cozy atmosphere inside the vehicle. As the night progressed, the camper was startled awake at 3 a.m. by someone knocking on his truck door.
Barely 3 in the morning.
Concerned and cautious, he chose not to answer, speculating it might be a local resident disturbed by the noise of his reefer unit. The incident disrupted his sleep, leaving him frustrated the following day. Despite the interrupted night, the camper began his morning routine inside the truck. Inside his car, this camper described using a tube heater to stay warm in the 5 degrees Celsius weather outside. He spent the evening watching TV shows and relaxing, planning to turn off the fridge and settle in for the night. However, The peaceful evening was interrupted around midnight by the arrival of 2 people near the car.
It's got midnight. I think there's 2 people shagging in the car next to me.
The camper observed them for nearly an hour before they departed, referring to them as doggers and expressing surprise at their late-night activities on a weeknight. As if the unexpected visitors weren't enough, a storm began approaching. The camper described seeing flashes of lightning and eventually hearing thunder. The rain started, creating a tense atmosphere inside the car. The camper's experiences highlight the challenges and unexpected moments of car camping, from dealing with weather and unexpected nighttime disturbances to adapting morning routines in a confined space.